Alright, let's get this generator back up and running. It's been sitting quiet for a while now, and that's never a good sign. First things first, a visual inspection. I'm checking for anything obvious, loose wires, leaks, maybe some critters made a home in here. Everything looks okay on the surface, but the silence tells a different story. Power is essential, whether you're on a job site, camping, or just preparing for an outage at home. A dead generator is just a heavy piece of metal. So, today, we were going to walk through the process of diagnosing and fixing a generator that just won't start. This is a common model, so the steps we take today should apply to many of you out there. Let's start with the basics. What I call the big three: fuel, air, and spark. Without these, no engine will ever run. First, fuel. Is there fuel in the tank? Yes, we have plenty. But is the fuel fresh? Old, stale gas is one of the biggest culprits. It can gum up the whole system. This fuel smells a bit off, so that's our first red flag. I'm going to drain this old fuel and replace it with fresh, high-quality gasoline. It's a simple step, but you'd be surprised how often it's the only one you need. While it's draining, I'll check the fuel line and the filter. We want a clear, unobstructed path for the fuel to get to the carburetor. Any blockages here will starve the engine. With the old fuel drained, let's move on to the carburetor. This is the heart of the fuel system, mixing air and fuel in just the right ratio. Over time, especially with old gas, the tiny jets and passages inside can get clogged with varnish and gunk, so we'll need to remove it for a good cleaning. Taking off the air filter cover and the filter itself gives us access. A few bolts in the fuel line, and the carburetor should come right off. Be careful with the gaskets. You want to reuse them if they're in good shape or have new ones ready. See all this grime inside the bowl? That's our problem right there. I'll use some carburetor cleaner and a small brush to get everything spotless. Every little port and jet needs to be perfectly clean. Now for the second part of our big three: air. The engine needs to breathe. We already removed the air filter to get to the carb, and look at this thing. It's completely clogged with dirt and debris. A dirty filter restricts airflow, choking the engine and making it run rich, if it runs at all. This one is beyond cleaning, so we're replacing it with a brand new one. It's a cheap and easy fix that makes a huge difference in performance and engine longevity. Never underestimate the importance of a clean air filter. It's like trying to run a marathon while breathing through a straw. It just won't work. Alright, the carburetor is cleaned and reinstalled with its new gaskets. The fuel tank has fresh gas, and we have a new air filter in place. Now we're on to the final, and perhaps most important, piece of the puzzle: spark. Without a spark to ignite the fuel-air mixture, we're going nowhere. The first and easiest check is the spark plug itself. I'll pull the boot off and use a spark plug socket to remove it. Let's have a look. This plug is covered in black carbon buildup, which can prevent a good spark. It's also wet, which tells me it was getting fuel but not igniting it. This confirms our suspicion that spark is the issue. We could try cleaning it, but for a couple of bucks, replacing the spark plug is always the best bet. It eliminates any doubt. I'll check the gap on the new plug with a feeler gauge to make sure it's set to the manufacturer's specification. This is a critical step. Too wide or too narrow, and you'll get a weak spark or no spark at all. With the new plug gapped correctly, I'll thread it in by hand to avoid cross-threading, then give it a final tighten with the wrench. Now, let's test it. I'll connect the boot, place the plug's threads against a metal part of the engine to ground it, and pull the starter cord. We're looking for a bright blue spark, and there it is. A nice, strong spark. That's what we want to see. So, we've addressed all three key areas. We have fresh, clean fuel. We have clear, unrestricted airflow. And we have a strong, consistent spark. I'm feeling confident now. It's time to put everything back together. The air filter cover goes back on. I'll turn the fuel valve to the on position and set the choke. An engine needs a richer fuel mixture to start when it's cold, which is what the choke does. Once it warms up, we'll open it back up. Let us do one last check to make sure no tools or rags are left lying on the engine. Safety first, always. This is the moment of truth. We've gone through the entire system. From fuel tank to spark plug, we found and fixed multiple issues: old fuel, a clogged carburetor, a dirty air filter, and a fouled spark plug. It's a great example of how one problem can cascade, and how regular maintenance can prevent all of this. But today, we're here for the repair. My hope is that with a few pulls, this machine will roar back to life. It's a process of elimination, and we've eliminated all the likely culprits. So, let's see if our hard work paid off. I'm going to give the pull cord a firm, steady pull. Here we go. 1 pull, 2 pulls, and on the third it's starting to sputter. That's a great sign it wants to run. Let me give it a little less choke. Let's try again. And there it is. It's alive. Listen to that. A steady, consistent hum. That's the sound of success. I'll let it run for a minute and slowly open the choke all the way as it warms up. The engine is running smooth now. No sputtering, no coughing. Perfect. We've successfully brought this generator back from the dead. All it took was a little bit of patience and a systematic approach to troubleshooting. Look at that. Power is restored. It's a fantastic feeling. taking something that's broken and making it work again with your own two hands. It just shows that you don't always need to call in a professional or buy a new machine. With a few basic tools and a bit of knowledge, you can tackle a lot of these repairs yourself. Remember the big three: fuel, air, and spark. Start there, and you'll solve 90% of your small engine problems. Thanks for following along with this repair. I hope you found it helpful. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more repair and maintenance guides. Until next time, keep those engines running.